everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Black 25 behind. 56. Three bud. Alert three. Let's go.
This is Peyton Barber. He led them in rushing a season ago. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
56. Squeeze, double. 36.
On play action, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 21 yards there on third down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Ready? Black, what is that?
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Let me go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Evans. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Barber on 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, on comes the Buccaneer kicker, Matt Gay. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes the 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Right back to Coleman here on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Handoff, Coleman, right side. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. Looking to throw. Nash, this one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Mike, 45. Coming this way, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys have now moved out in front. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, Barber. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They go play action. Winston. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it's 3rd and 4. From the gun, Nash. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a 1st down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Here's McKinnon, and down to the 44, 5 yards that time. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Second down, McKinnon, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Now, this series between the 49ers and the Bucs began back in 1977 in Tampa Bay's 2nd year in the NFL. It's been a series that the 49ers have dominated, 17-7 overall, although Tampa has won the last 2 meetings.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nash. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. to throw. Nash. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. McKinnon pushing through the contact. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Nash. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown.
They can't stop you, son.
4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Gold to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. On 2nd down, McKinnon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Nash firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
But right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? People say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Winston now finding Godwin, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 42.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston gives to Barber. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Ready? Black 25. 54 Mike. I got you, punk.
This is Ellington. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. Gay's kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
2nd and 6. He finds McKinnon, complete. Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. To throw is Winston. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Gay knocks this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Off play action. Nash. Deep ball for Goodwin. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for the Niners. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Back to throw. Nash to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, was the target, but it'll be second and goal. Now McKinnon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now. They'll try and run with McKinnon. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
White 25. Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Let him go.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Brought in over the middle by Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 31-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 31. Jameis to throw it. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And that's complete. It's Allington.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and that'll bring up second down. Here's McKinnon on the draw. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Looking to throw. Nash. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the rookie fourth-rounder Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Gearing up to go again here on offense, Andre Ellington works his way back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. And this is caught by Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Winston. He finds his target. It's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. To throw again on second down. Winston. He checks it down here to Ellington. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Throwing, Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards that time.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
Winston, the offense, with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start by making the long trek to CenturyLink Field. Cincinnati in town to take on Seattle. And it's the Bengals who are out in front. John Ross, a touchdown reception. From rainy Seattle, we head down the coast to sunny Los Angeles to check on the Chargers at home in Carson. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Andrew Luck throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The Cardinals trying to start the season right and is looking good so far at home. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Winston leaves it with Barber on the draw. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 28. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. A first down throw for Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to the running game with Barber. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Barber. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. On the ground, Ellington. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here's Gay for the Buccaneer field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gay's kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
You ain't doing nothing.
On the counter, here's Coleman. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. From the gun on 3rd down, Nash. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Back to throw. Nash looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Looking to throw. Nash, he's got it to Matthews, complete.
54, come on, 54, come on. Check, watch 54. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
From the gun on 3rd down. Nash, open man is Pettis, it's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 45-yard line.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Nash. It's caught by Coleman. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it second down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick. 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now this throw caught left side, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Nash. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Nassib came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Off play action. Nash. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Ellington. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay.
Let's go!
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They had that lead, looked pretty comfortable in the first half, maybe got a little bit overconfident because that's gone now.
Almost takes us back to being kids, doesn't it? Because I know at some point your dad did the exact same thing mine did.
Okay.
It's okay to be confident, son, but overconfident, that's not a good thing. And that's maybe what we saw here. They thought they had this thing in hand, had full control, and guess what? They've got to find a way to get back to where they were before.
You think Papa Davis and Papa God would get along?
I think they'd get along just fine, and you know something? They'd still be giving us advice.
Absolutely. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Coleman now. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Coleman. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Nash. Goodwin able to haul it in. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 29-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They go draw play to McKinnon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, Nash completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.